believe they appreciate more the comfort that it brings to their work and the burden it removes from their shoulders. When we talk of education for the visually challenged, as the PS did express his passion towards that area, I know that in our councils we have solutions that we've been employing all these years. But upon seeing such innovations like the one that the PS did comment on, I believe it removed some burden on your shoulders to say, if we could deploy these kind of solutions across the country, then definitely the archaic solutions that we've been using will be shelved, if not completely thrown away, so that we can move with the rest of the world. Abwenzi yanga ena ma DC ndamvula izo kotero sitinga mapezeko kuti togundike nawo kwauza kuti amatauma tatipangirani ka solution kena eko kuti kadzichita motere ayi koma kwauza kuti amofati tatere mwingotenganidzi mukapanga apply ndekuti dzija dzimafailo dzimbirimbiri mmaunjika dzokuti mupangire ndondomeko iyi amwenda komanso achinsewu dzimija dziponyeni pambali, for there is now a solution which is just a click of a button away. Tikukhulupirira kuti in our councils we have no excuse anymore. With MACRA, there are other programs that are coming to ensure that the digitalization agenda is not hindered in any way, ensuring that there is connectivity in every part of the country, internet connectivity that is. The year-to-year data that has been touted by the MC in this room is not only to be used in the confines of this room. There are programs that are coming up which I believe at an opportune time the MACRA DG and his team will make the country aware of. The aim is to make sure that all these interventions are accessible either online or offline. I was excited to hear of one solution that is readily available, the e-library innovation, which can be accessed even offline. So MACRA is in the process of working on all that so that we have connectivity that is reliable, that is affordable, so that everyone in the country will be connected and we actualize the dream of one President, Lazarus Chakwera, of turning this country into a digital country. I thank you very much for your kind attention, and I wish you a blessed day. Thank you.
The Minister of Information and Digitalization there. Thank you very much for your remarks, Honorable Minister. We would now like to bring to the forefront a bit of a highlight on the innovations that we're speaking of this morning. Mwina siti na beze mpata okwanira because antuoga mbojeza nao banja ndi anthu mukufuna kumvetsetsa kuti ma innovations awo ndodani kupeze kuti wakhalapo nthawi itali nde mwina ena mwa ife sitinaone zina ndi zina zomwe achinyamata athu atibweretsera ndi ntchito zomwe akhala akugwira. So with that in mind, I would like to invite up to the podium. I think for us to move swiftly, I'll just have the three representatives who will be sharing on the innovations that have been displayed out there from the northern region, central region, and eastern region. With that, I'll have all three come up. Muka mutakhala pamenepa kuti wina akamaliza mudza yankhule munthu akamaliza kuyankhula or kupereka presentation yawo. So I'll invite up to the podium David Muleme, who is from the northern region, representing the northern region, and from the Central Region, Sarah Kudze, who will come up as well. From the Eastern Region, a representative, Natasha Kapuka. From the Southern Region, unfortunately, our representative was unable to make it, but all of the innovations are out there. Please give them a round of applause. Come up, take a seat. We'll start our highlights and the presentation showcase with David, who will give us a recap and a bit of an idea of what the Northern Region has brought to the table. So feel free to come up. When you're done, it'll be followed up by Sarah and Natasha.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to be here with you today. Earlier today, I was talking to my friend, explaining the innovation that I've come up with. And during my explanation, I gave her some facts. I told her that, did you know that district councils only collect 30% of the potential revenue that they could collect? And much to my surprise, I thought she'd say, that's under potential, that's underutilization of potential. But instead, she asked me, do you want district councils to charge more? To which I was shocked, because I thought that fact meant to her that the district council is collecting far less than they should, therefore, the rest of the burden that should be covered is being catered by only 30%. So let me try to make it easier to understand and make it seem like it is good news, because it is. Imagine with me right now that you're a landlord, you have an apartment complex, and your target is 100,000 a month, and you have 5 tenants. But of the 5, only 2 manage to pay their dues. That means 3 are slacking. And for you to reach your target, you might have to raise your rents up to 50,000 for you to reach your target. That means the tax burden of the rest of the 5 is being held up by only 2 people. And that is really what's happening when I say this fact, that only 30% of the potential revenue that could be collected is being collected by the district councils. Meaning, only 30% of the people are covering the rest of the bill that should be footed. According to a UN Habitat report, this 70% that isn't collected is due to, number 1, tax incompliance, and 2, lack of trust. Ladies and gentlemen, I am David Muleme, and I present to you the Makobidi Finance application. Primarily, it is to ease and make revenue collection for city councils convenient for both the council and the taxpayer. As it stands, let me give you a practical example. In 2020, it was said that LILONGWE City Council collected only 26% of what it could have collected. Meaning, if LILONGWE City Council collected 10 billion in that year, 30 billion was not collected, and that is a huge disparity. Makobidi Finance application is here to bridge that gap. It is here to make revenue collection, to allow people to be tax compliant, to make it convenient, to remove the hassle that surrounds the payment of your, let's say, city rates, your ground rates, and every other fee that local residents, that is due to local residents. Makobidi Finance Excuse me 1 minute. Makobidi Finance, as I said earlier, is to bridge that gap and to make sure that the revenue that's being slacked off is being collected. It is a convenient way of collecting funds, and it is... Excuse me, can I have some time off, please? Okay.
A round of applause for David, please. Ndukhulupirira kuti tikumvetsetsa zomwe akunena. Application imene yothandizira kunena kuti it's an issue of convenience at the end of the day for muntu ndi the council as well. Thank you very much for the work you've put in, and looking forward to seeing this innovation hit the road, hit the ground running indeed. Now from the central region, you are showcasing outside, so I'm sure that amene ali ndi mafunso mukoza kukumana naye banja after he has a minute kuti mu vetete even more. If you've got any questions, he'll be able to take your questions and give you answers. From the central region, we have Sarah Kuze, who will be presenting what they have come up with. Please give her a round of applause.
All protocols observed. Before I start sharing about our innovation, I have a question to the Principal Secretary, because he has told us that he's a farmer. So my question is, did you take time to test the nutrients in the soil for your farmland before you started planting the rice that you're growing now?
Oh my God, I wish I had not. I'm putting the spotlight. And yeah, but honestly, no. Just looking around and saying, mpungo koza kumera hapa bas.
Interesting. So I'd like you to imagine a world where farmers can precisely monitor, like real-time monitoring the soil nutrients and even the moisture, like from their devices, miles away from the farm, like 5 kilometers away from the farm. And you're able to monitor what is happening in the farm in terms of the moisture and the nutrients. And also imagine that you're able to go into the farm and then you test before you plant to say, this is how the soil is in terms of the soil health or soil conditions. That's a world of Internet of Things, and I'm glad that the DG talked about that. It's one of the emerging technologies, and it is really revolutionizing how we're doing things, and now that is about agriculture. And agriculture is a backbone of Malawi. We can all agree that I think much of our monies or funds we do get from agriculture, and we export a lot. So I'm here this morning to talk about the innovation that we came up with to help farmers like Mr. Chamwaka and every farmer that is in this house, and even those aspiring farmers, so that we can monitor the soil health in our farmlands and make sure that we improve the crop yields. When you're talking about precision agriculture, can I have the presentation, please? So when you're talking about precision agriculture, this is all about the use of sensors that you can deploy in the farmland, and you're able to get data on soil nutrients and other environmental parameters, the moisture, the temperatures, and all that. So we as young people with knowledge in engineering, software development, we thought it wise that I think we can come up with something that Malawians can use to help in testing the soil nutrients and even monitor what is happening in the soil to make sure that we enhance the crop production. So our innovation called the Soil Smart, we have come up with a device, and we are targeting both the mega farms, and even those individuals that have smaller farms where you can just go and test the soil and have something like in terms of data of what is happening in the farmland, as I've said. So I want to talk about this device. And let me mention to you that if you look at the housing of this device, this was done here in Malawi. The 3D printing, the designing was done here. And I'm glad that we have a university where we can print this, and that's the Malawi University of Business and Applied Sciences. In the design studio, you can print this. So basically, we purchase the sensors, but the housing and coming up with a device, we use the devices in the design studio to come up with this device. So with this device, this is a handheld device. If you have a smaller farm, you can go into the farm and then you can test before you plant anything. You test and it gives you the soil nutrients in the farm. If you don't understand whatever data that has been gathered, you call someone who is in agriculture to give you recommendations. Based on this is what you can do. Instead of going to the lab to get that data, you can have this and do it. And let me also mention that with this device, you can use it to measure moisture in the maize. So you have harvested your crops, you have the maize in the bag, you can just dip this and it will tell you that this maize is not dry enough. If you take it to the market, they will send you back to say that, can you dry this and bring it back? And you do that before you take it to the market, you're good to go. So for the other device, I hope we have seen what we have out there. With that one, you're able to deploy sensors. So let's say you have a hectare of land. You can have 4 nodes. You plant, you deploy them in different locations of the farm just to have different variations of the soil. And let me also mention that for data transmission from the sensors to the hub, we are not requiring any internet, so you can transmit the data and then you can access the data through our dashboard when you have connected to the internet. So with that device, you're able to collect different variations in terms of the soil nutrients from different locations in the hectare, and that will help you in terms of making decisions. And the other thing is that with this system, you can integrate it with automated irrigation. So for instance, the moisture, you configure to say, if the moisture gets to this level, let's start irrigating this farmland. And on the research part, we are glad that our team has members who are in the academia. So we're believing that we can have a feasibility study to check, to assess how viable is precision agriculture, because we're able to collect data that you can analyze, the monthly data, the yearly data, and see how that can enhance crop production. Otherwise, let me welcome you to this innovation, and together let's innovate agriculture for a sustainable future. Thank you.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. It's good afternoon now, right? Good afternoon. When you think about waste, what comes to your mind? I can see faces. Waste, yes, waste. What comes to your mind? Zinyalala, okay? Zonyansa. Cholera. Okay. Well, today, I want to excite you by talking about how artificial intelligence and Internet of Things can be used into a decentralized waste management system and to turn that waste into an opportunity, because the benefits of recycling waste are limitless. Well, my name is Natasha Kapuka, and unlike my young fellows, me I'm BBC, born before computers, but because the issue of teamwork and working with young minds, we were able to come up with this solution that I'm presenting to you today. Africa produces around 125 million tons of waste, and only 4% of that waste is recycled. While in Malawi, only 95% of waste produced is recycled. And majority of this waste is organic waste. So when you look at our waste, majority of it being organic waste, what it does is when it's rotting, it's that smell that indeed is not kind to our noses and our eyes. While in Zomba, only it produces 52.57 of waste per day. And you can imagine what happens to this 52.507 of waste that is being produced on a daily basis. So I stand here today to present to you a solution that we, together with a team from Malawi University of Science and Technology, came up with in order to deal with this nuisance called waste. Our solution is an innovative, tech-driven platform that seeks to revolutionize waste recycling, as well as interface between informal waste reclaimers and the City Council in a user-friendly manner. This technology has two sides to it. The first platform, as you can see on the dashboard, our solution, the first platform is dealing with the person who has collected the waste. So when the person brings in the waste will be weighed, and once the waste has been weighed, it will give you a token to show how much that waste that has been weighed, how much it converts to amount of gas, that once that waste has been recycled, how much gas that waste would produce. The second part of the innovation is the integration of sensors in a biodigester. So the sensors in the biodigester monitors the amount of carbon dioxide and methane and moisture content that the waste, the next slide please. So there it's showing you the sensors that are measuring the gas that has been produced by the decentralized system. So this platform will provide users with features that will record the waste that is being recycled, but also provide real-time data to help City Council to know how much it's contributing to the reduction of national determinant goals for greenhouse gas emissions. Because the sensors will give you real-time data within the biodigester as to how much carbon dioxide is passing through them and how much methane is passing through them. So that dashboard is actually just showing you how much in this instance, it's showing 6% of the moisture content of that gas that passed through the sensors at that particular time, and then 25%, which is measured particles per million. So at that particular time when this data was captured, we had 25% of methane. So this methane is the one that is used for cooking. Due to population growth and urbanization, so you can see that's the waste that we are using to convert, using the biodigester to produce the biogas. And there it's actually showing you the women cooking using the biogas. This is a follow-up from a project called Piganimoganizira Chirengedwe. So as an enhancement to that project, we have added in the sensors so that we are able to know how much methane has been produced at that particular time, and how much carbon dioxide has also been produced at that particular time. With that, we are actually mitigating pollution from two fronts. The first front, we are mitigating pollution from the waste that was supposed to decompose on its own, but then with this, we are now producing gas. On the second front, instead of these women using charcoal or firewood to cook, now they are using biogas to cook. So from the biodigesters, there are two byproducts that come out. We have biogas and bioslurry. The bioslurry is a very good organic fertilizer. So you can see on the other slide that those were like vegetables that we had planted, and we are using the biofertilizer to grow them. The biofertilizer is good for most of the crops that you can think of. And due to population growth and urbanization, the total addressable market, depending on waste, is estimated at 5.2 billion according to Waste Management Market Report. So you can see that as city councils, this is an area where people can tap and generate revenue. What is the motivation for us to bring this solution? So our solution, among other things, is this solution reduces organic waste, and it also helps city councils to manage this menace we call solid organic waste. But also, it also would help city councils reduce the cost that they use to transport this waste to dump sites. And also, because when city councils can calculate the amount that they would use to install this solution and produce biogas and biofertilizer, that can also be sold. It can cover the initial costs of buying the biodigesters and installing them in the city councils. This solution is very viable because it's easy to install and it runs on various biodegradable materials. But also, when we look at the other reasons that we can benefit from this, it has economic impact, because those people who are bringing in the waste, they'll be able to get a little something for their day-to-day living. On top of that, it also has environmental impact, because as I mentioned, it's reducing the methane that is produced from the rotting waste. It's converted into a cooking gas. And because people are using biogas for cooking, that is also able to reduce deforestation. At the same time, the social impact, so we call this solution a triple bottom impact approach, because it's addressing the environment, the economic impact, as well as the social impact. So for the social impact, as you can see, it improves the lives of the people, but also because there's sale of biogas, there is money that people can get from the sale of the biogas, selling of biofertilizer. People can also get money from there, but also subscription plans that will be given to larger organizations that would also bring money to both the city council and those people who purchase this solution. But also, we are looking at potential partnerships that we can enter into with those organizations that are into the credit market. As I mentioned, I am born before computers, but I'm privileged to work with young minds, and our team is made up of myself, Natasha Kapuka, and Nelson Mwenefumbo, who holds a Master of Science of Internet of Things. He is a lecturer at Malawi University of Science and Technology. Also Peter Mwambananji, who is also a data scientist with an engineering background. And last but not least, Arthur Mwangonga, who is a systems developer, and he also has a master's in science, a Master of Science degree in Internet of Things. Thank you for your attention, and together we can make Malawi clean and green. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. I'll ask that you take your seats. A round of applause for them, please. Well done, thank you. That was from the Northern Region, David Muleme, Central Region, Sarah Kudze, Eastern Region, Natasha Kapuka. But we do have our Southern Region representative in the room as well. Please welcome him, Yusuf Chimole, as he comes up to bring his presentation.
All right. Sorry, they mentioned that I wasn't here before. I was busy collecting revenue. I'm a revenue collector from the councils. So I'm here to talk about revenue collection in councils. It's a big problem. We all know that. We don't utilize, there is theft, there is low level of collection. There are so many ways on how councils can benefit and collect revenue. And also, issues to do with fraud are big that the councils need to resolve. My name is Yusuf Chimole, and for this session, I'll talk about my experience and also a solution that we've worked on, which is FRMT, a solution that is mainly focused on revenue collection and financial management. So it's not only for the councils, but we're talking about councils as of today. Yeah, so I'm from BICC, a tech startup that we registered in 2022. I won't bother you with much information on that. We can go to the next slide. The statement as well, no. I want to take you to the good part of where, go to the next slide as well. Yeah, so the system that we have, it's mainly used to collect revenue by the councils. What happens is that we issue, it's a centralized system. We create a tenant for a council, and we allow citizens to also register on the platform. The reason why we do this is we want to have a centralized system where all the councils can be sharing information. The decentralization of the operations for the councils is also a challenge, but in one way or the other, it's also needed. But for financial management and this kind of revenue, we tried revenue collection. We try to bring both. We try to centralize part of the operations. On the other hand, we also decentralize financial management because different councils have different needs. For the FRMT, once we create a tenant for a council, like in our case, we created a tenant for Sanje. We have Blantyre City Council, but they run the same system. The citizens can access all the services from all the councils, but whatever the Sanje District Council gets from the system is completely isolated from what Blantyre District Council gets. But I, as a citizen, I can be able to track all the payments that have been made on the system, despite which council that I've gone to. On the same note, even you can also use the system to run your business. So some businesses, they have agent-based businesses where, for example, I sell Sovala, Mabel, and maybe I have 2 or 3 or 4 branches, but I need to track the payments that all my agents are doing. The system actually does help you with that, and you can completely isolate based on product, based on location. For example, you can have someone like, for example, for a council here in Lilongwe, you can have someone specifically collecting parking fees just within BICC, and another person collecting maybe rental fees within BICC. But this this agent, once he or she logs into his portal, he will have access to all the transactions that this person has been making. And the other agent as well will also be able to see his or her own transactions. So you feel like you're on your own, you're running everything on your own. But from the end, from the council, they'll be able to see everything and also completely isolate all these processes. The way the system works in terms of revenue generation, there is a service subscription revenue where we can have the councils, you as business people, groups, village banks, and everything, all those kind of associations that can happen, that are there. They can create their portals within the platform, and based on subscription, we're able to generate revenue to maintain the system. On the other hand, we can also customize it to meet your needs. And supporting and training services, it's a big system, and looking forward to deploying, for example, to the whole nation. You would need to train people, experts that are willing to be masters of this system. On the other hand, updates and innovations, the system is designed in a way that you can add different modules on top of that based on the needs that are there. The key modules that we have, there is integrated revenue collection and monitoring, which includes e-ticketing and verification. So the receipts that you get, you can actually verify them using your mobile phone, either the POS device that we also we can give to the councils. There is also digital billing, where the councils can be sending invoices, automated invoices, to their people that they own the council, for example, city rates and everything that can be done within the system. And we're also looking forward to integrating with payment gateways. We've been testing with mobile money, Airtel and Bamba. It's working. But banks, not yet at the moment. On the other part, there is also financial management and taxation. So the councils, the businesses, we pay tax. The way we created this system is that you can be able to, the taxman can be able to see all the transactions that you've been making, as long as you give them the permission to do so, which I believe it is a right for them to do so. And it is our duty to remit taxes. There is also budget and expense tracking within the system, and business registry. So there is digital business registry. So for the councils, they can register all the businesses that are happening within their jurisdiction on the platform, and also be able to track date that this business is owed to the councils. There is also property management. So the rates that are collected by the councils on property management, it's also within the system. Go to the next slide. Maybe I should just give you a quick demo of the pilot that we did in Sanje. Can you just go to the last slide for the sake of time? Yeah, can you play that video? There is a video. you can just the volume. So we have those devices that we use. You see, we're able to generate receipts that you can actually verify them just by scanning the QR code. And people might say, those devices are expensive, but it works even with these mere phones. I have a mobile thermal printer with me here. At the end of this, the minister has parked his car outside. I'll have to issue him a ticket. Yeah, he has to pay on that. Yeah, so even the dashboard, from wherever you are, you're able to trace and track in real time all the transactions that are happening within the system. So you can see there, we have a normal phone with a mobile thermal printer. But the idea is we want to shift from using paper receipts to digital receipts. So this system supports that. Even if you're not registered as a citizen on the platform, we're able to attach all your transactions to your national ID. And even if you were to register on the platform maybe 5 years later, you'll still be able to access all the transactions that were attached to your national ID. So we're using the national ID as the key unique identifier in the system. So, and on the other hand as well, the platform also supports geotagging all the transactions. For example, city rates, you would actually want these transactions to be geotagged. And that will actually help you to tell which areas are making more money and which areas need more investment or something like that. So like here we're in Sanje piloting. We're issuing these receipts to people in Sanje market, and they were happy with it. From the collectors, even the business people, they were very happy with it. This guy was saying that these solutions they go to them mojedwa. He was complaining, we need these systems, we need these solutions, and I feel like if we can expand this, if we can expand this kind of initiative to the nation, I think we will do really good at the end of the day. So I don't have much time. I just have to go and issue my ticket to the minister. Sorry for that.
I wish munagaona kuomba manja kwa minister amabanga mwamantha jonjo ukodi ticket yake zikhala zantundu wanje. But great to see the innovations that they've come up with. Thank you so much everyone for bringing us your presentation. Please give them a round of applause once more. Thank you everyone. Well, we've been speaking on partnership and where we're going, growing, creating an ecosystem as well, and building a thriving innovation ecosystem for Malawi. And we have people in the room that are going to share insights. We're going to move into a panel discussion, which is our last bit of the program today. I understand the Honorable Minister has to leave. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, for your time. Thank you very much. Yes, because we mirira pamene akutuluka. Tigeti ja ukalipira no pamene. Kaya wabira gale banja muntu. He's still in here. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Thank you, everyone. So once again, fostering local innovations, building a thriving innovation ecosystem in Malawi. As you can see, there's a lot of investment, a lot of time, a lot of research that goes on for us to come to the place that we are today. It's taken a whole year. People thinking, creating, innovating, developing, getting feedback. So we want to hear from stakeholders, those that come in to bring all kinds of, whether it's an industry expert, investor, and other stakeholders that are involved in making such a move to be, for this to be something that's a reality, the innovation itself, for it to be developed and in the hands of the people, making a difference in their lives. So I'm going to invite a few people to come up onto the stage, and you will take a seat. I will start with Miss Esther Pale, an innovator, to come up and join us. I'll also ask for Mr. Candiero, MHub Project Manager, to come and join us on stage. Ms. Flora Shower, Registrar General Representative, to join us. Dr. Napoleon Zombe to come up to the stage, joined by the Registrar General. Actually, the DG is going to come up to join the panel discussion as well. May I ask for some help with the podium? Udi inendime pansipa, thank you. Kodi nyimbo ya Muuni fund si ilipo, I think mwina yena mwaife siti na imve pamene muundi suntila podium, mwina you can play that. Thank you.
Fund is here, Yafika. Muuni fund is here, Yafika. Kuthandiza Malawi, tipeze njira, satana ndi mavuto omwe amagwa mdziko lathu.
Thank you very much. In the interest of time, we'll just delve into it. Choyamba mwina kuti tonse timvetsetse kuti tikamati innovation ecosystem zizunguzu khala zazikulu zikulu tikakhala malo ngati ano mmene anzathu amapanga present pena umazati kuti akutanthauza kuti chani anthu akuganiza ndeti mwina mutithandizeko with this one, Mr. Suleiman, kuti tikamati innovation ecosystem, what does that look like? What does that mean?
Thank you very much. I think Chichewa, maganizo athu amene timaona kuti titha kuwapanga kuti athandizire zinthu zina ndi zina amafunika kuti adzithandizikanso maganizo podzera mu njira zina ndi zina, monga malamulo akhalepo ndi cholinga chakuti anthu asakubere maganizo ako. Chachiwiri chakuti munthu amene ali ndi luso komanso amene ali ndi kuthekera kuti atha kupanga chinthu adzitha kupeza mwayi woti atha kuthandizika kudzera mu kupeza makobidi woti agwiritse ntchito pokulitsa chiganizo chimene ali nacho chija. Kachitatu ndikakuti chiganizo chake chija chikakulitsidwa chikamati chikukalowa kumalo amalonda kapena chiganizo chija chikukalowa kumalo kuti anthu ena ndi ena abwerepo athandizire, ndipo funikira kuti munthu amene uja azunguliridwe ndi anthu amene amamvetsetsa kuti kuyendetsa business zimayenda bwanji, kukhala pa ntchito ndi anthu zimakhala bwanji, komanso nkhani zina ngati kulipira misonkho kodi umatani, komanso mabuku ako umenera kuti udzalemba motani, cholinga chakuti abungwe la MRA asadzabwere pambuyo pano kudzakuthamangira pa khosi pako. Ndiye kuti zonsezi zichitike muona kuti pali magawo angapo osiyanasiyana amene akuyenera kuti akhalepo. Chachikulu nchakuti mwini ganizo uja atetezedwe, mwini chiganizo uja, mwini amene wayambitsa chinthu chija akhale pakati pa chimpwirikiti chonsechi chimene chikuchitikachi. Koma chachikulu nchakuti zonsezi zikamachitika anthu ena ndi ena aja amene akubwera kudzathandizira adzibwera kudzathandizira mwadongosolo, adzibwera kudzathandizira ndi cholinga chakuti chiganizo chija chikule. Ndi anthu amene akubwera kudzathandizira ndi osiyanasiyana. Pali anthu ena amabungwe aboma amene akubwera kudzathandizira, pali anthu ena amene akugwira ntchito ku makampani oyima paokha amene akubwera kudzathandizira, pali anthu enanso amene akugwira ali ongofuna kwabwino amene atha kupereka ndalama zawo koma anthu aja amapereka ndalama zawo kwa anthu amene ali ndi maganizo. Tionetsetse kuti ndalama zimene zija sikuti zingopita kuti zikuonongeka kapena munthu wina akangozitenga ndalama ziyozika mtumba mwake, koma ndalama zimeneja zigwire ntchito yoti ithirire ganizo limene lija kuti ganizo lija likule tidzabale zipatso zake. Ndiye muchizungu chifukwa chinthu chimenechi chimatchedwa kuti innovation ecosystem. Chichewa chake titonena kuti kulumikizana kwa anthu ambiri kuti abwere ncholinga chakuti maganizo achimalawi taathirire talongosole, ndicholinga chakuti zipatso zake zibadwe m'Malawi muno ndipo tizikolole m'Malawi muno ndipo tizitha kuwerengera kuti kodi m'Malawi muno tabereka zipatso zanji kuchokera ku maganizo anthu angati pakuthapa chaka.
Zikomo kwambiri. Pa nkhani yomwe tikukambirana mmawa kukamba kuti pali anthu ambirimbiri amene akubwera, and we're looking at innovation, creating the ecosystem that we're talking about, which Macra has made sure that you are truly investing in that space. Mwina mungotilongosolera koso pang'ono about the current trends in tech industry that startups need to be aware of. Because when we look at technology in general, it's moving fast, and we've got to move as quick as everyone else is for us to be able to keep up. So what are some of those trends?
Zikomo kwambiri. Monga mene lonse tikudziwira kuti tikati internet ndiye kuti dziko lonse lapansi labwera pamalo pamodzi, pachizungu amati global village, ndoti tonse tikukhala mudzi umodzi. Ndiye zimene zikuchitika kwambiri kumayiko akunjaku nzakuti zinthu zimene zikumatchedwa kuti artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence nchichewa chake titotanthauzira kuti mamakina kumatha kudziganizira paokha ndi kumagwira ntchito zosiyanasiyana paokha. Komanso kuli nkhani ina imene kutchuka kwambiri imene kumatchedwa kuti internet of things. Nchichewa chake titonena kuti zinthu zosiyanasiyana kumatha kulumikiza kupita pa internet, komanso zinthu zosiyanasiyanazi zipangizo zosiyanasiyana kumatha kulankhulana mwaokha. Komano gawo lachitatu limene latchuka kwambiri kunjaku ndi limene likumatchedwa kuti cyber security. Chifukwa chakuti tonse talumikizana, tonse tabwera pamalo amodzi, kukumana kumeneku kwaloleranso kuti anthu aumbanda, anthu oganiza mosayenda bwinobwino m'mutu mwawo kuti apezeraponso mwayi. Chifukwa chakuti tsopano atha kukhala munthu ali ku Russia koma atha kupeza kuti akutha kugwira makompyuta ku Malawi, munthu amene atha kuwazimitsa makompyuta ku Malawi, munthu amene atha kupanga chipongwe pa mafoni aku Malawi. Ndiye chiopsezo chimenechi chabwera chifukwa chakuti tonse tafika pamalo amodzi amene akutchedwa internet. Ndiye kunjaku kuli demand yayikulu, anthu akufuna kwambiri wani anthu aukadaulo amene atha kuthandizira kuti zoyipa zimene zithomachitika pa internet zichepe, makampani amene atha kupanga ziganizo kapena zida zimene titha kugwiritsa ntchito kuti tidziteteze ngati munthu, ngati kampani kapena ngati boma, kuti tikapita pa internet tidziteteze motani. Komanso kunjakuso kuliso chipulikiti chimene choti anthu akufuna kuti makina ambirimbiri alumikize ku internet of things. Munthu azitha kukhala kuti ali ku ofesi koma ndithu kuyuza kuka yake ya kunyumba kuti yambe kuphika sima. Akamakafika kunyumba kuja kukafika kuti kuka ija yamaliza kuphika sima, zonse zikutheka. Ndiye anthu ambiriso makampani ambiri akuyang'anayang'ana maukadaulo anthu amene atha kupanga zinthu zimenezi. Komanso mene ndafotokozera muja kuti kuli gawo la artificial intelligence. Chifukwa chakuti talumikiza makompyuta ambiri komanso anthu ambiri alumikiza ku internet, ndiye tapezeka kuti tili ndi chinamtindi cha data. Ndiye chinamtindi cha data imeneyi tikuyenera kuti tipange ziganizo, tilolere kuti timvetsetse kuti kodi data imeneyi kufotokoza chani. Ngati kuli kuno ku Malawi tili ndi data yambiri ya AIP, tili ndi data yambiri ya cellphone, kodi titha kudziwa bwanji kuti anthu osaukitsitsa ali mbali iti, ndipo anthu amene akuyenera alandire fetereza wa AIP ali mbali iti, komanso dothera kumeneko kodi ndofunika fetereza kapena ndongofunika manyowa, komanso mbewu yake tipereke mbewu yotani. Ndimuona kuti ziganizo zimene zikumapangika chifukwa chakuti data yachuluka, pachizungu akumati artificial intelligence. Dera limeneli ndi limenenso latchuka kwambiri loti amalawi ambiri amene akufuna kuti apange makampani awo atha kusuzumirako kumeneku, atha kupeza mwayi wambiri. Zikomo.
Mwa anthu omwe some people that already have things like how to make your sima start cooking, you already won't shiro, alina ferero. Chifonodi also the innovator, someone that's also participated in this cohort, and that is Miss Esther Pali. Ndufuna lingomvetsetsa pangono as we are building this ecosystem, mwina ukuzoru ni hira. What are some of the major challenges that you faced when you were coming up and building your innovation? How did you overcome those? Ndemuna osanayanke, I think uruza udi innovation inali yanji. Then tell us what those challenges were.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. On behalf of my team, because I have a team, so on behalf of the team, I am actually very much honored to be here and actually stay on stage with prominent people. So as an innovator, as well as a software developer, our innovation actually mainly based on agriculture, where, like the MD has said, we used emerging technologies, for example, AI, to help farmers make informed decisions when it comes to the type of crops they need to plant, as well as managing pests, as well as diseases in the field. So to answer your question, what are the major challenges that we actually faced when developing the innovation? What I would actually say was, like Dr. Suman has said, that when you're dealing with artificial intelligence, it actually involves processing a lot of data. So one of the major challenges that I can actually pinpoint was actually working with unstructured data, because we had to actually work with different people in the council, especially different people from different fields. So the motivation there behind it was, how can we take this unstructured data for us to actually give us the informed decisions when it comes to dealing with giving us what we actually want. So how we as a team overcame that was actually working with smallholder farmers, you know. So in developing of a solution in this instance, you have to really work with the farmers, because you're trying to come up with something that they will be involved. So they would be in the right position in order to give us what they really want. So in the process of research, as well as gathering the right requirements, we had to make sure that we actually get an overview from the farmer's point of view. So based on what we were given from the farmers, we are able to actually work with artificial intelligence in order for us to actually give us what they really want. And in turn, it turned out to be a success. Those actually people that came to our booth were actually able to demonstrate how we used artificial intelligence, for example, detecting diseases in particular crops, and how, because of the research, because of the knowledge that we actually got from the farmers, we are able to come up with such type of innovation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would like to take us back to something that the DG shared. Kunena wati pali muntu makhala ndi ganizo lako olo idea yako umafuna kuti uyiteteze. And I'm sure this may have been a challenge that you may have faced in terms of the questions that you were getting even from the innovators. How are you going to protect our ideas? How are you going to be able to, how will we preserve it? Because ownership is key. An idea in itself is something that is owned by someone. So I want us to go and look at the issues surrounding IP. And this one is for Ms. Flora Shawa. Can you explain the different types of IP protection available for tech startups? And mwina so ungolongo sola kuti mwina ngati tukuponya na pena pake kuti tikamati IP tikuti chani?
One, two. Okay, once again, my name is Flora Shawa Pakwantanda. I work for the Department of Registrar General, which is also the Intellectual Property Office. We have 3 branches, one in Blantyre, one in LILONGWE, and one in Nzuzu. So what is IP? This is intellectual property. It is the creation of the mind. like inventors, innovators, the ideas that they create, they have to be protected. That is IP. What you create from your mind, the results for your intellectual property, that's the IP. Okay, thank you. So, IP is divided into two categories. We have industrial property, which includes patent, trademarks, and industrial design. Then we have copyright and related rights, which includes copyright, artistic work. With industrial property, as I said, we have a patent, trademarks, and industrial design. So right here with me, I have a phone, Samsung S10 Plus. The appearance for this phone is the industrial design. The technical side of it, that's the patent. How the phone operates, that's a patent. Then S10 or Samsung, that's a trademark. Like Micra, we can see the design there, the post, that's the design. I'm not sure if it is registered with our office. That means you have to come and register it. I also have a bottle here. As you can see, maybe you have these bottles. There is Omo's Park. The bottle, the shape for the bottle is the industrial design. Omo's Park, this is a trademark. I'm not sure if they are registered. I'll explain.
All right.
Yeah, okay, so I'll give you an example. When you come up with an innovation or invention, that's your idea, and your idea has to be protected. How do you protect your idea? It has to be registered. For example, if it is a patent, most innovators, they do with a patent, not a trademark. But still more, you can use all these types of IP rights. Like one product, for example, this laptop, as I have said, it can have a trademark. This is HP. HP is a trademark. What is inside, how the laptop operates, performs, that's a patent. The shape for the laptop is the industrial design. For most innovators, they have to register a patent, like your ideas, your inventions, your innovations, they have to be registered. When you come up with an idea, before you tell anybody or before you tip anyone, make sure you come to the Registrar General Department, which is the Intellectual Property Office. You have to register your idea for it to be protected. Because, you know, sometimes you come up with something and maybe you think, oh, let me share this with my best friend, and your best friend end up using that idea economically, like making money out of your idea. So if your idea is not registered with our office, you cannot sue for infringement because your idea is not registered. So whenever you come up with your idea to create something like an invention, please come to the Registrar General Department, which is the Intellectual Property Office, in order for you to have your idea protected. No registration, no protection. If your idea is not registered, just know there is no protection. If someone steals your idea and you haven't registered it, there is no protection. Because sometimes it happens, you end up sharing your idea to someone, or maybe your lecture, it happens. Sometimes students, they do share their ideas to lectures. Maybe the lectures end up coming to the IP office. I'm not trying to mean that your lectures steal your ideas, but it happens. You share idea to someone, that person comes to our office and register your idea. When you come to our office to sue or to claim for an infringement, we'll ask you for any evidence. And if you're not registered, and that person, the one that stole your idea and is registered your idea, that means you don't have any protection. The person who registered your idea has a priority date. He registered it first. So whenever you come up, I'm insisting, because there is lack of intellectual property awareness. Many people do not know that after having an invention or innovation or creation, they are not aware that they have to register their ideas. You have to register your idea for you to be protected. Patent, what is a patent? A patent is a technical solution to a problem. We have heard the previous speakers, they came up with innovations to find a solution to a problem. So when you come up with an innovation, you have to apply for a patent. You have to register for your idea. It has to be registered. After registration, we give you a certificate. So in terms of, when somebody infringes on your idea or innovation, you are able to sue. You are able to claim. You are able to come to our office. You are able to go to court because your idea is protected. No registration, no protection. We also have a trademark. What is a trademark? As I've said almost back here, this bottle, there is almost pack. I'm not sure if this almost pack, this is a brand, it's a trademark. I'm not sure if it is registered. It has to be registered so that when somebody infringes on this brand, you are able to sue. So we have Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is a trademark. Samsung, HP, Techno, those are trademarks. The shape, the outside of like this laptop, the appearance, the outside is the industrial design. So one product, you can have a patent, you can have a trademark, you can have industrial design. Once again, when you come up with your idea, any innovation, whether you're a student or you're a business person or you're working under someone, when you come up with an idea, please do visit Department of Registrar General. We have 3 branches in Branta, Fatih Market Building, in LILONGWE, is it Packard Building, and in Nzuzo. I don't know if I can continue.
That's adequate, unless there's more you wanted to share.
No.
Awesome.
On the question, there are challenges. I don't know if I can proceed.
Yes, I think we're okay for now. I may come back to you with another question.
Thank you.
Now, when we're talking about innovation, we're looking beyond having ideas, just ideas. We want ideas to make money. We want to have ideas that will create jobs. That's what we're looking for solutions that are market ready as well. So now we're going to look at having insight on the importance of having a strong business model and being strategic with the ideas that we have, which is something that we noticed during this cycle, having people come in and then still go beyond just the idea, but where are we going? Can we generate an income from these great ideas? If we're going to register an idea, it might as well make us some money, right? So that's something that's key. So this is for Mr. Candiero. Please give us some insights on that. The importance of having strong business model, strategic planning for success when it comes to having this idea and moving beyond that.
Thank you for that. I would start by saying there's several areas that we look at when we're talking about a strong strategic planning or even a business model, right? When it comes to that, firstly, it provides a foundation for growth. One of the things that we want to look at in terms of an entrepreneur is for them to grow. And how does that work? It's that if you have a strong business model, it can help you outline the value that you are bringing to your customers, firstly. Secondly, also the value that you are bringing to your company itself. If you noticed the entrepreneurs that you met outside when they were explaining their target market, the cost structures that they have, the revenue streams they are trying to create, you would actually see that these were really strong business models. At the same time, we're also looking at strategic planning to say it gives you a competitive edge. Where now you are continuously doing your marketing research, improving on your business model, and you are being ahead of even your peers within that market. At the same time, it's also providing, attracting investors, right? As we saw an example here, one of the entrepreneurs were able to come and clearly state on their business model, and an investor was able to invest right there and then. So a strong business model and also strategic planning provides that foundation for you to actually grow as an entrepreneur. Yeah.
Do you find that a lot of times they are, because you're working with MHub and I'm sure you're always interacting with ideas, what is the challenge there in terms of people having the idea, but then thinking the idea can go beyond an idea? Where is the cutoff? What is the hurdle there?
Firstly, I would say it's access to funding. As much as I've seen like innovators here that have come up with an idea, but one of the things I think as hubs we've been looking into is gaining that access to funding for entrepreneurs. The resource helps them to actually grow within their market, and that also helps them in terms of any other innovations that they're trying to bring in. So access to funding is one of the crucial aspects that we've seen to be very important or a challenge for entrepreneurs within the Malawi sector. So for example, as MHub, we've been able to fund over 1 million USD, but that is just a fraction of those that have applied within our programs. Secondly, I would say specifically for the tech sector, in terms of entrepreneurs can be able to come up with these innovations. However, the issue is now the market penetration. To say, for example, I think the Director General yesterday spoke on at the forum, at the DOJF forum. He spoke about 14 million registered SIM cards in Malawi. But out of that 14 million, only 1 million of those SIM cards are smartphones, right? So if you look at that statistic as well, if you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to access that market, there's a lot of competition there. So that is also a challenge even when entrepreneurs are trying to scale. The market itself is very competitive.
I thank you for bringing us back to that. I think sometimes our ideas are so big that we still need funding. We still need partnership for us to get to where we need to go. And I think that's great to see that even today there was the reality of that. Cholinga choti toseta bwera limodzi ndi mmene zachitikira lero linditu. Kuti anthu anali ndi idea, koma idea imeneyo akwanitsanso kuti apeze investor for us to be able to move on. Ndingofunsa Dzombe, Dr. Dzombe, thank you for joining us. Nkhani ya ma investor. Inuyo mukakhala nkuona kuti yes, muntu ali ndi idea yabwino. So speaking from an investor's point of view, what factors do you look at when deciding to invest in an innovation, an idea? Generally, what are these things that stand out for you that we need to look out for so that we are ahead of the game when we're coming and we are investor ready?
I'm proud of business anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I'd like to salute our young men who have been giving us their presentation, and I was very impressed and moved. But all presentations have been made in English. While most business people, they cannot speak English, but they have big money. So how can they buy those ideas? So I think first and foremost, I should say, the majority of our business community, they have never been to school. So what our innovators were showing here, those are, I don't have a way to express what these guys are doing. They are doing a wonderful job, of which it can take us very far as a country. But the money men has not, they cannot understand what they were talking about. So let me go back to business. Chimene timaona ife, chachikulu timaona kuti kodi fundo imene atulutsa kapena maganizo amene abwera nawo kodi mpafupi uyagulitsa kapena ayi. Ndiye tsopano mmene waona kuti maganizo yoti utapita nawo pamsika nopanga katundu ya anthu akhoza kugula, ndikuti umaona kuti pamenepo utayikapo ndalama zako, ndikuti ndalama zako zikhoza zabwerera. Chachiwiri nchakuti kodi maganizo amene wabwera nawowa kuti ukwaniritse zimene zofunika zichitikezo zikhuzulawa ndalama zingati. Ndiye tikaona kuti pakhuzulawa ndalama zambiri, ndiye tsopano mamboona somthumba mwako kuti tikhoza kukwaniritsa kupanga chimene uyu ali kuganiza, ndipo tikaona kuti sitingathe, ndikuti tsopano mepo zimativuta. Kotero anthu ambiri nthawi zina amalepheraso kuchita investi mu maganizo ya anthu, chifukwa nthawi zambiri ukati ukhale nawo anyamatawo kuti I will be supporting you, ndiye kumene oyenda pamene ukhala maganizo basi ndoti maganizo anga achonibera, ndoti maganizo anga achonibera. So zinthu za mtundu mewo ndi umaona kuti ine amulede ni big business of which I make big money. So I wanted to support this young man chifukwa cha ideas yake abwino. Koma tsopano yenu wake amangoona kuti basi maganizo oyapita, ndiye chifukwa chimene chimapangisaso kuti no, I don't think nkwabwino yiti invest munthu amene alibe chikhulupiriro mwa iweyo. Kotero kuti zinthu za mtundu umenewo ni zina zimene timaziyang'ana pamene tuyang'ana kuti titani ndi maganizo a munthu.
Datowoza, right from the investor's mouth. Nkani yaikulu, I think muna achinyamata ena yenelano kupeza no machichewa tuta zedi. Chifukwa mazopesa kuti chichewa muna chinakuponya nonziti chinatiponya pena pake. Komano at the end of the day, communicating the idea effectively will be able to get us investors. Kuti anthu atimvetsetsa kuti plan idea yo ndijani kena ukazigulitsa bwino. And how many in the big money because of kuthandiza with your big idea, right? That is some good stuff. Dingo bempa kuti direngeno last remarks. I may have pointed questions. Adzombe, your last remarks.
China chimene chimavuta nchakuti policy zathu ngati boma zimakhaso zina zimalepheresa kuti zinthu zichitike, chifukwa munthu wina wache wosauka wabwera ndi maganizo abwino yoti zinthu zakezo zikhuzothandiza dziko lino la Malawi, koma nthawi imweyo kuti Malawi Bureau of Standard afuna kaone. Ndiye tsopano yamboona kuti kodi anthu amene adabweretsa maganizo kalewo chikadakhala kuti adayamba Malawi Bureau of Standard akadakhala maganizo. chifukwa iwo omakhala ni system imene munthu aliyamba lero koma afuna akafike ma standard aina amene ndamba 1977 so niwona kuti inayo kapoyamba nidayamba chimutumutu kotsizira zinthu zitagwira ndi ndambuyira zinthu zooneka kumaso a anthu so mwana aliyamba lero ndiye unene kuti apapo sizikwana standard songathuika pamsika apapo mmene zili mpofunika uchite comply is kodi toilet ili kuti kodi umuzili mastandard ake alukwanira izizutani ndiye sanoona kuti ngakhale munthu anali mmaganizo ndoti sanu maganizo ake aja amabwerera chifukwa chonena kuti paralija talibwezera kumkobwe sidafuna kuti timuthandize munthu uja kuti apite ndiye tsano tizampase zoyenera kuti apange so zinthu ngati za mtundu mmene ankhupirira zitati zoyang'anidwaso kuti amene ali maganizo abwinowa opitirire kuchita maganizo awo monga amene kufunikira nkuwapatsa grace period kuti pa nthawi iyi wakhoza kuchita mosaukira momwemo koma tsopano zikadzafika ma levels ena ndiye tsano amene makhala kuti apapo to zinafuna mastandard ake muzitere kotero zitatero mwina zikhoza kutithandiza kuti anyamata athu achite bwino.
Thank you for those remarks. Ndifunse, I think this one for your closing remarks, Ms. Shawa. Does the registrar's office have mahab or a way kuti anthu athe kupeza information imene?
We don't have a hub, but what we normally do, we go to the universities. So we have been like Tomas, Mobas, Luana, University of Malawi. So we do go to these universities to have like a workshop, like awareness on intellectual property. We also work closely with the National Commission for Science and Technology. That's what we do, but we don't have a hub, but we do visit these universities.
Thank you very much. Mr. Candiero, your closing remarks.
Thank you. I think my closing remarks will be based on your questions you asked on the challenges and in terms of about business models. I would say that as hubs or as innovation hubs, it is really important that based on the innovations we've seen today, we have a strong partnerships with several players. For example, with Macro, you've been able to produce such innovators, but through this partnership, we can be able to foster them through innovation hubs and to be able to scale them further and also help them also access more funding as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ms. Pale, as an innovator, what are your words of encouragement to other innovators in Malawi?
Okay, my last advice to inspiring innovators, I would actually tell you that do not underestimate small ideas. You know, when I was starting, I was actually, I did something similar in my undergrad for my project, you know. At first, it scared me, you know, because we had to use artificial intelligence, and by that time, it was something that was just emerging. And it scared me because I didn't know if I was actually going to really implement something like that, you know. But then I kept heads on, you know, and I found people that actually really helped me, even people from different schools, you know. I reached out to them, I reached out to industries as well to actually get an overview of how I can actually bring this idea to life. So what I would actually tell you is don't be afraid to start, even if it's something that is small. You just have to believe in yourself to actually really, there are resources out there, you know. Muuni Fund gave us the platform to actually be able to showcase something like this, you know. So if you are an inspiring innovator, don't be afraid, seek help, be vulnerable enough to ask for help, and because of that, you can actually be able to bring your idea to life. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And lastly, to the DG, you're already leading the fort in bringing collaboration and building that ecosystem that we're speaking of. How can different stakeholders enhance the success rate of tech startups? And feel free to add whatever else you would like to that as you are wrapping our panel up.
Zikomo pomba mkota chachikulu choti tidziwe nchakuti tili pa ulendo ulendo umene tidawuyamba zaka ziwiri zapitazo ndi nkhani ya Muuni Fund. Pofikira palero mpakuti tapeza achinyamata angapo amene akuonetsa kuti nzeru zawo ndi mwina amene mafokera koma district council zikugwirizana. Pakadali pano ndipoti mulendowo tafika chapakati, sitinafike kumene tikuyenera kuti tikafikeko. Mbali imene yatsala ndi yakuti 1 ife ngati amakra nkhani yotchedwa Muuni Fund tikuyenera kuti tiyike pamwamba. Poyika pamwambapo tikuyenera kuti tiyambitse kampani imene itatchedwe Muuni Fund, kampani imene tikayika pa Malawi Stock Exchange. Tukayika pa Malawi Stock Exchange chifukwa chakuti pali misika iwiri pa Stock Exchange. Pali msika umene umatchedwa Main Stock Market, ndi palinso msika wina umene umatchedwa Alternative Stock Market. Muuni Fund tikayipanga register tupita pa Alternative Stock Market ndi cholinga chakuti makampani amene 20 atchulidwa aja, my dear 20 atchulidwa aja, akufuna ndalama ndi cholinga chakuti apite pa msika. Ndalama zimenezo tikufuna kuti amalawi ambiri athe kupanga nawo makampani amene kuti abwere agule mashare, abweretse ndalama ngati kapitolo, ndi cholinga chakuti makampani amene aja ziganizo zimene zija zikule zipite patsogolo. So pali njira ziwiri zimene titagwiritse ntchito. Choyambira nchakuti tipitiriza ndi mmene Muuni Fund ilili. Chachiwiri ndi lamulo la nyuwani limene tikupanga lija limene likutchedwa Digital Innovation and Entrepreneurship, limenenso likulozeraso mbali imeneyo. Chimene titakwaniritse tikapanga izi nchakuti tipereka chitetezo kwa anyamata amene ali ndi ziganizozi. Ncholinga chakuti 1 momwe abweretse collateral kapena chindapusa chimene atha kubweretsa kuti apeze ngongole kapena kuti apeze ndalama zina, Muuni Fund kudzera ku makra ipereka chitetezo chimenecho. Chachiwiri nchakuti anthu amene adzibweretsa ndalama zawo kuti ayike makampani amenewa akudzoti ndalama zija sakumpatsa John kuti John ayike mthumba mwake ndalamazo, koma John kudzera mu kampani ija ndalama zija zikukalowa mu kampani ija itukuka, kampani ija ipita kunsika. Ubwino wake ndi kuti kampani iliyonse ilikale ndi nsika, chifukwa ma DC wabwera apa chifukwa kunsika kumene makampani amene adzikagulitsa zinthu ndi kugula zinthu ndi kumene kukwa ma DC wa. Chachitatu chimene chitachitike chakuti ngati Malawi tikamakamba za nsika wa digital tili nawo nsika ochepa kwambiri. Ndi zimene tikukamba zoti mwina ndi anthu 1 million okha amene amagwiritsa ntchito zinthu za digital m'Malawi muno. Koma ife ngati amakra tayamba kale kukambirana ndi anzathu aku Zambia amatchedwa kuti ZICTA, tayambanso kukambirananso ndi anzathu aku Zimbabwe, tayambanso kukambirana ndi anzathu aku Botswana ndi anzathu aku Mozambique. Cholinga nchakuti tipange Muuni Fund wamkulu amene akhale maiko osewa 4 or 5 iwa abwere pamodzi. Cholinga chake nchakuti ife ngati Malawi tikayikapo $1 million, Zambia abweretsanso $1 million, Zimbabwe, Botswana, Mozambique tikhala ndi $5 million imene makampani amene adutsa ngati 20 adutsa aja athano kufika kuti nyamata wina mwamona amakamba zoti atha kuphunzitsa anthu osaona ku Malawi kuno, mwinanso ku Zambia ndi vuto limene, mwinanso ku Mozambique ndi vuto limene, mwinanso ku Botswana ndi vuto limene. Koma Malawi akafika bwanji ku Botswana, akafikira bwanji ku Mozambique? Ndi chifukwa yake ma regulators amakampani amaiko amenewa Malawi, Mozambique, Botswana, Zimbabwe ndi Mozambique tubwera pamodzi kuti tiyike ndalama zathu pamodzi, titsekule kampani yaikulu imene itapange kuti nkhani za Sub-Saharan Africa innovation ndi support to technology startups tiyithandizire, tiyipatse moto, ndi cholinga chakuti maganizo athu amene ali achimalawi anyamata amene athenso kutsekula makampani awo m'mayiko mwina. Komano kuti atsekule makampani amene m'mayiko ena akuyenera kuti adzere mu njira zina zake. Ndi ife tikupita patsogolo kukalambula njira zimenezi, ndi cholinga chakuti maganizo athu achimalawi, zochitika zathu zachimalawi ndithu zipezeke kuti zili m'mayiko ena. Ndi awa ndi masomphenya amene tili nawo ku makra. Izi ndi zimene zitachitika kuchokera pano ndi miyezi 10 ndi iwiri kubwera kutsogoloyi. Cholinga chakuti tiyike ndithu chigalimoto chokhazikika choti chitengere maganizo athu kuchokera pa munthu mmodzi kukafikira ku mayiko ambiri. So in English we would say that we would want to get the Malawian idea out of Malawi into the rest of Africa via a special purpose vehicle that we are constructing through a collaboration between a number of regulators. Already we are in advanced talks between Malawi, Zambia, Botswana, Zimbabwe and Mozambique to aggregate our innovation funds and to set up at least about $5 million worth of an entity. And the target is to also list that on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, which means that all these companies that we are pulling through as Muuni Fund at macro level, already at the moment they graduate from macro, they now have an Africa stage with which they can showcase and attack the African market. In so doing, we are now exposing our innovators to a wider market, because in Malawi the digital market is about 1 million, but if you pull together Malawi, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Botswana, and Zambia, you're now looking at a potential market of about 90 million people. Now, with 90 million people, you have enough scale and you have enough mass that you can pull through. So, from Muuni, in the next 1 year, this is what you should expect us to achieve before we can go back to start calling for the next level, for the next cycle of ideas, because we would want to have one full leg from A to Z, so that when we call for innovations, someone should be able to aspire and see the Malawian idea that has gone all the way to the Johannesburg Stock Exchange and is actually being implemented in Botswana. That is the vision and that is the goal that we're striving for. Thank you very much.
Getting the Malawian idea out of Malawi, which is how Muuni Fund comes in. I would like to thank all of our panelists this morning, afternoon now. Thank you for your insights. And once again, our topic for this was startups, tech startups and innovation ecosystem, building thriving innovation ecosystems, and of course, getting insights from our experts. With that, ndipemphe kuti muimilire tijambulitse kenako after chithunzi chimenechi ndiziyitanaso anthu enaso kuti tingopangiratu za zithunzi zonse, and then we'll move on to closing our session.
Yafika, Muuni Fund is here. Yafika, Taniza Malawi. Tipeze njila zotana ndi mavuto kuza dziko latu.
Awuti musegerere, thank you.
Muuni Fund is here. Yafika, Muuni Fund is here.
Ndipemphe Miss Wezi ndi timu yanu kuti nanuso you should come up on stage, please.
Zotana ndi mavuto omwe yamakwa mdziko latu.
Ngati ali pafupi, I know your people are very busy.
Achinyamata yabwerera inu, wogwira ntchito yabwerera inu, amasuku.
May I have the evaluators amene alipo kuti nanuso mubwere tijambulitse limodzi. Mmene timanenera muja ma ideas iwa amaperekedwa ndithu if there was a pitch program where anthu amalongosola, there are innovators, please come up. The evaluators, please come up. I see that the rest of the Muuni team is here. My evaluators, inali ntchito yayikulu kwambiri kumva my ideas from 70 people. Kuthandiziraponso maganizo kuti yayi mukhoza kuchita improve munjira yotani my ideas anu. Thank you for all of the hard work, for your insights as well.
Yabwerera inu, amasuku yabwerera inu, Amalawi tonse yabwerera ife. Taniza Malawi.
Can I ask for the innovators to come and join the picture? I'm sure we can have. Now I'm trying to think how we're going to fit everyone on stage. Maybe we can do it outside? Okay. Yes, Banja? Fantastic. All right, thank you very much.
thandiza Malawi tipeze njira zotana ndi mavuto kuza dziko lathu madera za ulimi kunkhani za umoyo zokuza ndalama ntchito za mabanki nkhani za maphunziro komanso makompyuta.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've now come to the end of our program today. I do thank you for joining us. Zikomuwambi kuti lero tinali limodzi ndiponso tithokoze ma innovators athu pa ntchito yabwino yomwe achita, the Muuni Fund team, Macra team, my district council leads as well. Thank you so much for all of the work, all of the efforts, the collaboration. What says is collaboration was key. And we're going to continue to ask that. And you take a look at the innovations that are out there, you also look at how you can invest in those innovations. Tifodima solutions amenewa timajitira kuti ife ya Malawi should be the first beneficiaries. Tikamaiza amene bomene amanenera moja kuti the Malawian idea must also go and have a life of its own across Africa and the world, and this is truly possible. So once again, a round of applause for Muuni Fund, the innovators, all of the work. Congratulations once again. Please be sure to follow the Facebook page Muuni Fund because they will be giving more details when the next call will be in for the applications. And we're looking for new faces for sure, new ideas, and for us to be able to achieve our greatest dream, that Malawi that we want. We have it in our heads and we can actually make it a reality. So thank you everyone for coming. My name is Ruth Kulaisi. We're going to have another picture opportunity outside after, oh, right now? Yes, okay, so we're all going to head out, take a group photo, especially for the innovators and our leads as well. Because it's the start of a whole new season for our nation. So thank you for coming. Lunch will be served as well, I'm sure, at the foyer, that's next door. Komwe tibide oti tikaje kumeneko komati thandizirani makuponi ndizina zotero koma tothokozeni kuti tinali limodzi lero. Dzina langa ndi Ruth Kulaisi. Let's go have a chat outside. Let's look at the innovations. Let's think, create, develop, innovate and develop. Yes? Fantastic. Tsiku labwino kwa inu nonse.
Muuni Fund is here.